Dr. Talisha Berry, publisher of Courageous Woman magazine, an inspirational publication that highlights extraordinary women in business and entertainment. And today we have an amazing guest on Courageous Woman Live, Courageous Woman Magazine Live. We have Elder Carmen King. She is from Queens, New York. She's a motivational speaker and certified travel specialist. She owns KM Travels. She has been an elder reverend for over 12 years in her home church of Tabernacle of Praise Cathedral in Brooklyn, New York. She is gearing up for her solo devotional, Is God Real? It's time to lean in. Carmen hosts a victory moment with CK on her YouTube channel, and she's here today. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me.
And thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you again for joining for thank you for inviting me and the connection. It's awesome.
Awesome, awesome. Carmen is one of our women to watch in 2024. She is one of 11 women that we'll be interviewing, and some have been already been interviewed for our Women of Watch 2024. She is an amazing travel specialist. So tell me a little bit about a travel specialist and what kind of things that you do, and how do you maneuver being a travel specialist and an elder.
Basically, I balance everything by definitely being organized. You have to be organized when you're doing multiple things. And we know we talk about this multitasking. It's not about multitasking. It's about being organized and knowing exactly what needs to get done and prioritizing. And that's how I do it. So it's been interesting in starting the KM travels and all of that. It's been interesting because I've always loved travels, but I've never thought that I would actually start and be in the travel business like how I am now. So my excitement is always, like you said, that asking me about, balancing, it's prioritizing and organizing. Like what needs to get done, what should get done, priority. And that's what I normally do.
Awesome, awesome. Now, I absolutely love traveling. So tell me what motivated you to become a travel specialist?
It's so funny that I should say, it's so funny that you asked that particular question because I always share that because I was traveling and I travel, do certain things. And one thing that I experienced that said travel is so important to your life because it changes your life is when I went to Israel, Jerusalem. And I went on basically what we would call the journey of Christ and so forth, but we were introduced to certain other things outside of just that. And I just saw that a lot of things are so confused because we don't understand the culture, because we don't understand each other. And that made me even more want to travel because it helped me to understand why certain things are done the way they're done, or why people respond to certain things the way they're responding, whether it's in China, whether it's coming from, like I said, Israel. When I saw certain things in Israel, I was like, that was interesting, but that was their culture. And, we had to respect it. Not saying we liked it, but we had to respect it. So part of that journey, that was the main journey of when I went there that really opened up my eyes to how important travel is. And that's why I was excited about doing it. Someone approached me, and connecting with it. And then I said, you know what? I wasn't working my regular job anymore, and I was like, okay, I think this is what I'm really excited to do and called to do in ministry, as well as just connecting, people to another life experience, and change.
Awesome. So, what's unique about your travel business? Are you focused on groups? Are you focused on adventures, exotic, or islands? What's your specialty?
What I really focus on, I deal with, and I focus on the age from 45 to like 60 and so forth, because to help them to get the right vacation, the right the place that they would want to go. And my main goal is always to know before you go that who, what, when, where, how, because it makes a difference in your travel. Everybody gets excited about travels, but it balances out, it helps your travels when you know before you go. But my focus is always, I do adventures, I do um all of those different things in travel. I do destination weddings, all of those things. But I always focus on the destination weddings, and also like group travels. That's what I normally focus on, because it's always like the girls coming together, or a group coming together and just wanting to get away. So I focus on that a lot, but I definitely do individual travels for each individuals. And if you're a couple, I handle that too, because couples want to get away quite obviously too, but I do all of that. But like, as you asked me, my focus is normally, like I said, destination weddings, and I normally definitely do group travels, and those are one of my main focuses.
Okay. So, when you say know before you go, what explain that?
A lot of times we immediately want to go to a location, like say like major places like Dubai and France and Paris and all of that. But there are things that are happening in travels. And if you don't know before you go, you'll get caught up in stuff, and it'll make your travels uncomfortable. And one of the things I realized as a travel consultant, my job is to help make your travels destinations and where you want to go. E- you know, um, how would they say? Not so much easy, but the right place, the correct. Like even if you want to go to Dubai, what do you want to do in Dubai? Is it a business trip? Is it a trip to, is it a is it a trip with a group? Is it a trip with your husband? Is it a trip? And these are the things and the questions that I ask, so that I would know the best way to plan your trip. And that's where that how, what, when, where, and how comes in. Because if I don't know, and I'm sending you on a trip, and it's you and your husband, and I'm sending you like you're single, that's not gonna work. I
Mm.
have to make sure of what the person really needs. So I ask a lot of questions before I actually plan the trip. So I have, consultation with the person, and then I ask a lot of questions to be clear on what you need,
Mm.
so I would know the best way to handle your needs, your destination needs.
Okay. Now, what are some of the things that people need to know that we may not think about going to some of these locations? What is something that should be on the checklist that we need to know or take?
One of the things is what is happening now in that particular destination.
Mm.
Like a lot of people may not know that is it I'm trying to remember if it's Paris. I think it is Paris because I don't want to quote it wrong. But one of the destinations had an infestation, believe it or not, of bed bugs. So if you went to that destination and you didn't know, you're actually going to bring all of that back with you into your home and into and who you connecting with and all of that. So that's just something one of the things that can be happening. So when you ask, like, one of the questions, like I said, I would ask, why are you choosing this destination at this time? One of the things you should know is the best time to go to a particular destination. Every destination is not, every, season, depending on the season. It may not be great to go to this destination at this time in season, because certain things are transpiring. Like a lot of people go to Trinidad at the beginning of the year because Trinidad has what? Carnival. So if that's what you want, yeah, then that's what you're going for. But if you don't really want to do a carnival, then I wouldn't advise anyone to go to Trinidad at the beginning of the year because
Mhm.
that's what they basically highlight. So those are the like little simple things that you just to make sure of where you want to go. Why do you want to go to this place? What do you want to do? Like, do you wanna, there's certain things you wanna do. That place, if it doesn't have it, then it's defeating your purpose. So all of those things, like where do you wanna go? What do you wanna do when you get to your destination? So those are some of the questions I may ask.
Okay. Now, traveling can be stressful. How do you integrate mindfulness and relaxation into your planning or your journeys of traveling?
You're talking about my journey of traveling or when I'm helping someone else with
When
planning?
you're planning travel for someone else.
Oh, when I'm planning for someone else. Um, I understand that they're not gonna know, so I try to take it easy because I realize and just be patient because they are not going to know what I know because I am, and some people do know certain things, but I am supposed to be the travel specialist. So I would have to help them to understand. So that's part of how I stay calm. I don't get excited about certain things. I just ask, as I will say, how can I help you? Or I'll say, listen, this is the best way to handle this. And that's how I continue to stay just in a pace, in a calm pace. Cause like you stated, traveling can be very like overwhelming. Let me use that word.
Hmm.
Overwhelming, especially if you're not clear on what you need.
Yeah.
I've had clients say, well, they're saying there's a lot of problems on the ship, or cruising. Yeah, but I know that not every cruise line has those issues.
Mhm.
Certain cruise lines you expect, you may expect certain things, but there's certain cruise lines that they protect their name all day, every day. I can
Mhm.
guarantee that because of the amount of people that use them and connect with them, and they cater to everybody. So that's how I communicate. Mhm.
I think that's the beauty of working with a travel professional versus going online and on a 10,000 sites trying to find the best deal and the best location and best place to go. So, what are some of the ways that, some of the benefits of working with you as a travel planner, as opposed to people just doing doing it themselves, planning the trip?
the per- the personal one-on-one,
Mhm.
um because when you're online, you can't ask, you can't directly speak to someone like just like that. There's certain things that, with us, we literally defend you. Like if something goes wrong, I literally defend you. If you call me and say, like, you get to the airport and there's a problem, and I booked your flight, I'm going to make sure that it's taken care of. I've done it multiple times where my one of my good friends, they were going to Jamaica, and I had to put certain things in order because they were saying one thing, but then you know how you document things, but then they were documenting one thing, but then they were saying something else, and I was like, that's not how I do business. Like, what are you going to give my client? I need clear. And that's one of the questions that I do. And I also go before my client to make sure of what they're going to expect. And
Mhm.
that's the difference in having for me. I don't know what any other I can't talk for any other agent or travel specialist, but that's what I do. I guarantee that I'm going to go before you. I call hotels to make sure of certain things, and things of that. So I do that extra
Mm.
because I don't want you not to have a good or pleasant trip. So that's part of what I do. And in general, um, it's the what we will call the one-on-one and the person that again will supposedly defend you if something goes wrong, and they will make sure that whatever it is rectified or get rectified if it needs to. That's the major thing for me. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we've talked about self care before. So, self care is the cornerstone of your message. How do you prioritize it during busy times like traveling, planning, and speaking, and just balancing it all? And do you have any strategies, anything that you do, particularly that you could share on how you balance it all?
Well, first I always pray and put God first. I do. And I ask him to give me the wisdom that I need to guide me into what needs to get done. Um, and then I look at and I evaluate everything. And that's important to evaluate everything and see again what needs to be done first, and then then that process continues. And then like my goal settings, if I'm dealing with my goal settings, what do I need to prioritize first? What is the main goal that I would like to finish in the first quarter? Then we have the second quarter and things of that sort. So when you prioritize it and you make sure that it's in order, then you don't have a problem. Then you can function better because now you're putting some type of order. And that's what I was sharing from the beginning. You're putting some type of order,
Mm.
and once you put that order, it's hard for it to be disrupted, because now how am I doing this? Where am I going? How am I going to get to whatever the goal is? And you start putting things together. Mhm.
Oh, awesome. Now, you have an awesome YouTube show. Tell us about your YouTube show.
Well, I started that show when we got into the pandemic. And the reason why I started it is because how do you keep moving in the midst of uncertainty? And the pandemic put us in a lot of uncertainty. And I said, well, victory is the victory moment is how you continue not to give up. You
Mm.
continue not to quit, and you continue to keep going. And that's when I chose that's why I started the show. So the victory moment is all about um daily having victory, but most importantly, not giving up, not giving in, and not quitting. And that's what the show was about. And I was so excited initially to bring it because I was like, how can I encourage the people? How can I help the people along the journey? And that's what made me really focus on it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I thank you for sharing that with us today. And what encouraging words would you have for our audience? Or better yet, what is your definition of a courageous woman?
Listen, a courageous woman is a woman that just keeps standing strong.
Mhm.
She keeps going, even when it seems like the life unexpectancies and uncertainties. She just keeps going. She's victorious because not because of the things she may have and obtain, but she's victorious because she doesn't quit. And a courageous woman keeps standing in the midst of it all. And that's what I think a courageous woman is. She just keeps standing in the midst of it all. In the impossibilities, she keeps going. In the uncertainties, she keeps going. She finds the answer and keeps going.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. We love asking what, asking our guests what the definition of a courageous woman is. I love that. We have so many books with sharing what is a courageous woman. We have one coming up this Mother's Day. So if you're interested in being part of our upcoming book, What is a Courageous Woman? Go to courageouswomanmag.com and get that information. Thank you again, Elder Carmen, for being with us. I love what you do. You're balancing it all. You are an elder. You are a travel specialist. You're doing it all, and you have your own show on YouTube. You're absolutely balancing it all. So I appreciate you coming on and sharing your words of encouragement and telling us your story. Thank you so much. So
And you're welcome.
how can our viewers connect with you?
Well, on my YouTube channel, all you would have to put in YouTube is Carmen King CK. Um, I am on social media platforms. So even if you Google me out, you'll see all the social media platforms I'm on. Facebook is CK dash Elder Carmen King, and also on IG, Elder CM King 50, and also um on LinkedIn it's Elder CM King 50, CM King 50. So you'll connect with me on all those particular platforms. Once you put in Carmen King or once you put in Carmen King, you should definitely see all of the platforms come up.
Awesome. Once again, thank
And
you.
that is my link to my website, which I would love to be and help anyone along the journey with their destination needs.
Absolutely. I think I'm going to call you myself because I am ready to go on another trip. I absolutely love traveling and it's getting that time. It's time to get out there again. So,
Actually, yeah,
so thank
definitely.
you. Thank you for sharing your business with us. Um, until next time, y'all, make sure you go to courageouswomanmag.com and follow us on social media. Follow us on Instagram. It's Courageous Woman Magazine. And you can go to our website at courageouswomanmag.com and you can read more about Elder King and her business and find out more about her. She has a story because she is featured in our Women to Watch 2024. So thank you so much for being here. All right. Until next time, y'all be good, be safe, and always be courageous. I'm Dr. Talisha Berry. Until next time, good night.